What's up, you sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates? As the title would suggest, it appears that the boycott, the sort of fight against the way the players of Genshin Impact have been treated, is failing, at least at this current moment in time. So I wanted to talk about this because I was made aware of the revenue that they have been making for this currently active banner, and they are breaking records right now, at least currently. Now, just be aware, this is only the first couple of days or so worth of revenue compared to the couple of days or so worth of revenue of all the other banners. So just keep that in mind. We won't fully know the truth about how well the banner did until after the 3 weeks of that banner has concluded. And also keep in mind, this is only the iOS revenue for the China market. This is just a piece of the pie. This does not include global. This does not include Android. This does not include PC. This is just a piece of the puzzle and does not depict how this is all transpiring as a whole, but it still shows us some awareness of how the boycott has affected their revenue, which does not seem to have affected their revenue very much at all, at least as it stands right now. Like I said, we need to wait till the end of this banner when, you know, the numbers would show a higher amount. We're still on like day 0, day 1 numbers here. So just keep that in mind. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, let's talk about this. The Xianyun and Nikke banner is very, very hype. I understand that. Well, first of all, before we dive in too deep, the only reason why I found out about this as early as I found out about this is because of another channel called Jello Impact. I like their content. They make good Genshin Impact content. They are coming from the perspective of someone that mostly uploads for Genshin Impact, and they do support the kind of fight against the way they've treated players. So just be aware of that. Don't go giving them any hate or anything like that. They weren't necessarily like completely boycotting their the game in a way that they wouldn't upload for the game. They still do their uploads, but they don't support the way that trailers or players have been treated up to this point. They do feel, just like the rest of us, that they should be giving their players more rewards, etc., etc. I come from the perspective of someone that has boycotted the game at least to a degree. I made a video about this not fully this situation, but how, Honkai Star Rail compares to Genshin Impact because of the way it's been treating its players. And I currently have not been playing the game since all this stuff started because I feel like that's the best way to support this boycott and this fight against the situation is by simply not playing the game, not paying money in the game. Fight with your wallet kind of a situation. Also, one way you can fight it is by just not playing the game, because giving them the player retention numbers still counts to them. As long as they can show investors that people are playing the game, they will still get investment money for the future of the game. So that is one way you can fight it if you want it. But let's get into this. Xianyun and Nikke, the rerun is doing crazy well. And I understand, right? Xianyun, please correct me if I'm wrong on how you say that, by the way, in the comments. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. But Nikke is literally one of the best characters in the entire game. She's the best Dendro character in the entire game. If you're running Hyper Bloom, you want Nikke. It's just kind of like, it's practically a requirement. You don't literally have to have her, but I mean, come on. She's actually that good. Head and shoulders above anybody else. And you can see that because the third highest revenue up here you can see for a day 0, day 1 banner is also Nikke, right? So it just goes to show that this is a very, very valuable character. Nikke, even though it's a rerun, is still a very, very valuable character. And Xianyun is also a very high value character because this is a fun new kind of play style. This is a highly anticipated character for the game. People have wanted, Cloud Retainer for a very, very long time. It's also a unique body type in the game. She's really, really hot. And a lot of the body types in Genshin Impact, this is a game made in China. A lot of, especially the female characters, have kind of small, sort of petite body styles. This is a tall, more older looking character, somewhat rare for the game. So this is a unique, hot, interesting, new, fun, fresh character alongside literally one of the best characters in the game, this banner is incredibly hype. Take a look at the other banners you see here. Do any other banners seem as powerful or interesting as this up here? You have Farina and Baiju. Yeah, sure, Farina's cool, but is Baiju as interesting for a rerun as someone as like Nahida? No. Nahida, sure, powerful. And Yoimiya. Is Yoimiya as powerful or popular of a rerun as Nahida? No. Venti rerun all by himself? No. Ayato and Venti? No. Yelan and Xiao? Yeah, kind of, but like, I don't know. I don't think so. When you look at all of the other ones here on the top of this list, nothing compares to the hype of this banner. So I get it. It makes sense that this banner is doing really, really well. It's very, very hype, highly anticipated. People are very happy as far as players go about this banner. So it makes sense that it's doing very well. However, it's also at the same time that a lot of players are boycotting the game. But something to keep in mind, right? With this whole boycott, with the fight against the, treatment of the Genshin Impact players, is that most players are probably younger players that probably don't even look at this stuff online. They probably don't even look at Twitter or YouTube or any of that crap. They just log in, they play their cozy game, and they have a little fun, and then they log out. They don't really care much more beyond that. It's a very casual game, and so players play it very casually and don't necessarily look up all this meta stuff or look for third-party outside information in order to play their game. It is a niche minority of players that even look at the YouTube stuff or the Twitter stuff. And so you already have a small group of the player base that even care about this boycott or fighting against the situation. And so when you're already dealing with a small minority that even care about it, even less of that minority are actually willing to fight the situation or boycott the game in a way that actually matters. Most people just complain to themselves. They don't unsubscribe. They don't stop paying for the battle pass. They just complain about it on Twitter, and then that's it. They don't really actually actively do anything about it. So you're already dealing with a small minority of players that would even want to fight this, and an even smaller minority of players that actually want to physically do something about the situation and stop playing the game or stop using their wallet to pay for things in the game. It is a very, very niche amount of players in comparison to the rest of the game and the rest of the player base that actually want to do something about this situation. So, unfortunately, it's almost like a losing battle in a way. If enough people complain, if enough people do something to where you can instill some form of change, then yeah, you can get it done. It technically only takes one person to win a battle. But this is a really tough battle with such a small amount of people actually fighting this battle. And I do like Genshin Impact. Don't take it the wrong way. I love the game. I think it is a good game. I think it could be better, but making it better would be listening to their players and, just improving upon what the players want in the game. And that's not something that they seem very willing to do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And that's how they're acting. Now, let's talk about something else that's very important, right? Because, yeah, sure, like 1 million people can like unsubscribe to one of the social media sources for Genshin Impact, and they might notice that and then use bot accounts to make it look like that never happened. But is that going to truly make a dent? Is that truly going to make the devs care? Because I'll tell you what number they actually care about. The only number they truly care about is the number that you see on screen. This is all they really care about. Their revenue. And if their revenue is unaffected to them, or at least seemingly unaffected to them, then they're going to keep doing whatever it is that they want to do, right? You could boycott the game all you want, but if we don't actually make a difference, if we don't make a dent in this amount of revenue that they're making, they're not going to care that much. And even if they do give us more rewards or, some more interesting fun events, etc., it's going to probably be pretty minimal unless we really see something like big from the players. Like when Zhongli came out and people sort of boycotted Zhongli, but when they boycotted Zhongli, they bought with their wallet. they refunded payments that they had made in the game. That made a change because they were seeing chargebacks. When the developers started seeing chargebacks, they were like, oh no, whoa, pump the brakes. We got to do something about this. And they buffed Zhongli. And they've never done something like that ever again. And that's because the player base hasn't reacted in that way ever again. There's a lot of nostalgia with this game. There's a lot of the feeling of, I don't want to miss out on my progress in this game. That is how players act. And if they continue to just keep pumping this game up with paying for the battle pass, paying for the express pass, playing the game, giving them player retention, the developers will never take notice of this and actually do something to change the game. So I've been yapping for a long time here. I'll stop yapping. I'm sure more information about this stuff will come up. This is only like the first couple of days worth of numbers, okay? So let's not like act like the fight is over. Like this is completely just lost. Okay, so we'll end up, you know, talking about this again once the banner's over and once we see more progress or, you know, decline. When more news comes out about this, I'm sure myself and others will end up making videos about this. So if this was helpful or interesting in any way, shape, or form, consider leaving a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.